What's up, tribe? How you guys doing today? Hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Now, this is a review for Made in Staten Island. Now, I was excited about the show because I was a really big Mob Wives fan, and I just felt like this was sort of going to be like the growing up hip hop version of Mob Wives, which it sort of is. But it's on MTV. And I think the demographic is more for a younger crowd. But I'm going to go ahead and do the review anyway. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a week-to-week review of it. Because, like I said, the storylines are just... some of the storylines are serious. Don't get me wrong. Because there's a couple of kids looking at going to jail and things like that. But I just think that the demographic is not necessarily for me. Which is cool. But I'm going to go ahead and do this review because I watched the show. And, you know, again, you can check it out. And if it's something that you're interested in, you know, keep rolling with it. But it is, I think, I know it's executive, I know at least one of the executive producers is Karen Gravano. Her daughter is on here, and I saw her name in the credits. I tried to catch all the credits. But I think that it's created by the same people who created Mob Wives, which is the sister of, y'all know who I'm talking about, the wild one. Oh, they were on, they were on Boot Camp, reality stars a few seasons back. Anyway, her name will come to me. Renee. See? Renee. So Renee's sister, I believe, is the creator. And I think Renee may even be an executive producer because I think this was the show they were talking about. If you looked at that season of Boot Camp when they were on there, when she was on there with her sisters, and they were talking about that they're actually in the works creating a new show, I think this is the show they were talking about. Anyway, with that being said, so the show, it deals mainly around 5 young like older, like late teens, early 20-somethings, on Staten Island. And of course they go through the whole history of Staten Island, how Staten Island sort of became the place where mafia guys, when they made it, they moved to Staten Island to get out the city, and it sort of became like its own borough. Well, it is a borough, but you know what I'm saying, like the forgotten borough, they said. And so a lot of these kids have mob ties, but it's not necessarily a direct connection to Mob Wives, for the exception of Karen's daughter, Corinna. And if you watched Mob Wives, you know who Corinna is. And we saw her grow up on Mob Wives, right? So she's living on Staten Island now. She's dating one of the guys. And they have a very toxic relationship, which I'm all over the place. Let me start at the beginning. So we have Christian, who they call him CP. And he's the narrator of the show. At least this episode, he was kind of doing the narrating or whatever. Christian's situation is his dad's in jail. He grew up, he doesn't really mention his mom. So his dad's in jail, and he's living with his aunt and uncle right now. But he said his dad's always been a street guy, so that's kind of what their life was, and it was always sort of unstable. He said, but his dad's his best friend. You know, he loves his dad, and that's his dad's best friend. He said, but he's also facing his own situation where he was at a party that got out of hand. And somebody ended up dead, and he was one of the people charged. He said, I didn't stab anybody, but I was involved in the melee, involved in the fight, which led to someone being stabbed. And so he's being charged with attempted, like, with murder and aggravate. Like, you know how they throw the book at you. So they've thrown the book at him, and they probably really, honestly, he didn't say this, but this is my 2 cents on the outside looking in. They probably just wanted to find out who actually did the stabbing. And him and his friends probably ain't saying who actually had the knife and actually killed somebody. But, you know, they ain't gonna snitch, you know, or at least not yet. So that's sort of what's going on with his situation, his story. And we have Paulie. Paulie is, him and Chris are friends. Paulie, again, his dad died when he was young. He lives with his mom and his brother. Paulie works right now he's working like fast food. He's working at a restaurant, but he eventually wants to, I think he said he wants to own his own restaurant. He wants to open up his own restaurant at some point. But Paulie, again, has his own legal issues. He got into a fight with a security guard, and they're charging him with assault on a police officer. And, you know, his thing is, I know I was wrong. I know, you know, I screwed up, you know, whatever. Kayla is the Drita of this show. Kayla is a hothead. She will fight you. She don't care. She don't have no cut cards. and she got put out her house, so she's living with her uncle because her parents put her out the house. Sounds like she has a history. They said that she's known on the island as that chick, that will fight you, that will whoop your ass, that will whatever. So it sounds like that's sort of her reputation. So she got into a fight with some girl. They show clips of the video, so the video must have been viral or whatever. And she's actually going to court. She had to go through anger management, and she had to go through some things, and she's actually going to court in this episode to see what's going to end up happening to her, whether she's going to have to actually go to jail for some time or juvenile detention for some extended period of time, or if it's going to be thrown out. But her parents, I don't know if they're going to explore that further, but it seems like that her parents were like, she said that when the police came to arrest her, her parents were like, that's it, we're done. Which tells me that there have been a lot of other situations for your parents to get to that point to be like, yeah, we're done with you. We have Denny. Denny is the oldest of the group. She's sort of, again, she's sort of like the big Ange of the group. She's the older one. She's actually in college. She's actually, her mom is a single mom with a couple of kids, and she's the oldest. She's a wild child, but it seems like she's got a little bit of sense. You know what I mean? Her thing is, I want to live my life before I settle down. I don't want my life to be Staten Island. I want to live in the city. I want to have a job in the city. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do, but I know I don't want to just stay on Staten Island for the rest of my life, Then we have Corinna. Corinna. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Karen's daughter, and she's living on Staten Island. She actually had a conversation with her grandfather, who was Sammy the Bull, and she's facing a decision about going away to college. She's gotten into some really good schools. I get the impression that this is all happening towards the end of a school year, because Denny's moving out of her dorm and moving back home for the summer, and Corinne is trying to decide where she's going to go to school in the fall. So that's what it seems like. This is around that time period. But she's debating about staying on Staten Island because her and Christian are together. Is it Christian? Yes, Christian. Her and Christian are together, and so she's like, I don't know whether I'm going to stay here to be with him or if I'm going to move and go. She was like, I got into some really good colleges, but I'm just not sure. Her grandfather is telling her, girl, if you don't get your ass off that island and get out and see the world and do some things, like, you're a smart girl, you've done some great things in your life, like, you need to go, you need to get out. So we see Corinne and Christian. They have a very toxic relationship, right? They fight, they argue, they break up, they get back together. He talks to her crazy, she talks to him crazy. That young love shit, you know what I mean? I don't think it's physical. I don't think there's been any type of physical altercation, but it's just that they get mad at each other, and it's like, well, screw you then. Well, screw you too. Well, you think I'm going to stay here for that? I'm not going to stay here and not go to school and have you treat me like this and disrespect, like that whole back and forth thing. So their relationship seems to be, like I said, to me, it seems toxic. They go through this whole thing where they're fighting, they're arguing the whole episode. They had like a little cookout. They got into an argument. He was like, why are you embarrassing me? She's like, I'm not. Like, he tried to lean over and kiss her, and she kind of did this. And he was like, why are you embarrassing me? You're supposed to be my girlfriend. You won't even give me a kiss. Like, you're embarrassed to be with me. And then, so he got mad. He went out that night, went to the club, and was dancing with some other chicks. And somebody sent her the video of it. So then she got mad at him and broke up with him. And then he came over and apologized. And then she said, okay, just don't do it again. And then at the end was like, see, people just don't understand our love. That's when I was like, maybe this show is not for me. Maybe it's a little young for me. But for real, they do the same shit on Love and Hip Hop. And I watch that every week. So what we going to do? Kayla had to go to court in this episode. She went into court, and of course they didn't film inside of the courthouse, but she went to court, and the good news is that she's clear. She's free and clear. She did the anger management, and I guess whatever else the court told her to do, she did it within the time period that she was supposed to do it in, and so she's good. The case it's closed. I don't think it was dropped. I think it's it's closed, and so that's a good thing. So they see Christian came to. No, Corinna and Polly are together. Christian is not with. It's Corinna and Polly. I had to get myself together. It was Corinna and Polly are together. They're the ones that have that relationship. Christian came to court with Kayla, and Corinna went to court with Kayla. And, it was all great or whatever. And Christian said that she wanted to he wanted to go visit his dad, before he goes to court and everything, because he was like, I might end up going to jail too and be in jail with my dad. So I want to go visit him because I haven't seen him in a while and I don't know when I'm gonna have a chance to go see him again. So Christian and he asked Kayla to go with him, and come to find out, him and Kayla are like best friends. They've never slept together. Everybody thinks they have, but they're just really good friends. And she rides with him up there to go visit, and they look like they have a really good friendship that maybe could blossom into something more if and when they both get to a place where they're ready for that. But it seems like right now they really are just really good friends. And as somebody who has a lot of male friends and somebody who is a, tomboy-ish, I've had that. We have a lot of male friends who I'm just really good friends with. People think that we've slept together, or I've slept with some of these guys, and I ain't slept with none of these dudes, So I understand what that is, and I know that can be a legit situation. I do think they have feelings for each other, but I think that where they are right now, they're just not, they're not going there. But she does go with him to visit his dad, and he has a really good conversation with his dad. You could definitely tell that there's love there. You can definitely tell that, he misses his dad and his dad misses him, and his dad didn't have a long sentence. I want to say his dad only had like 2 years or something like that. So it's conceivable that his dad will be out pretty soon. I'm not sure. Maybe it was 5 years. I don't know, but I remember it wasn't a long sentence because he got caught up on drug trafficking, and I remember thinking, that's not really a long sentence for drug trafficking, but who am I? And I'm certainly nobody's lawyer. We see a scene with Corinne and her friends telling her basically, you need to stop dealing with Polly. It's toxic. It's not good for you. You can do better. And that's when she was like, yeah, you're right. I'm not staying here for that. I got into some really good schools. I'm going to go somewhere else. But of course, we end up right back where we started. Like I told y'all, where that ends, with them getting back together, whatever. What else went down? That was pretty much the majority of the episode. But it was a good episode. Like I said, it's a good show. It was a good episode. I just, I'll see where it goes. Y'all let me know what y'all think. If y'all like it, give me some thumbs up. If not, anyway, catch you later. Peace.